It's very interesting, and you don't really, as a fan, you don't really stop and think about it, But you're right. There's one or two plays, on a big drive like that could go either way, and there's so many intricate things involved that fans may not see or writers may not see either. That coaches sit back and they realize it. So, it's in.
To hear them talk about where they thought a play was dead, or they thought the game was over because it was a bad offensive call against the defensive coverage that was happening, and yet the play ends up working. Well, why? And now you can get inside of it. Or why did you think it was dead? Or even why did you call the play? And you go through all those things. Or to know that the last play of the game, they actually drew up on the sideline, that they had never rep that play in practice. And that really three of the four receivers who were running it, as well as the running back, had never run that play before. Just all sorts of things that, unless you're on the inside to some degree, you're not going to know. And yet if the play fails, the first thing we do is that the ball carrier, he stinks. He can't get through it, or the line didn't block it. Well, maybe the quarterback didn't make the correct audible. Maybe he didn't make the correct protection call. Maybe the back went to the wrong hole. I mean, there's so many layers to it that people don't know, and yet there's this knee-jerk reaction that, well, it didn't work, so this guy stinks. But to me, that's what's fascinating, and you can really try and get behind it and understand why something did or didn't work.
Very interesting. Good stuff. I'm going to switch it up a little bit on you. 2011, a lot of fans now are hearing, the NFL and the labor agreement and the pending lockout. What is your take on the situation that's going on with the owners and the NFL Players Association? And do you think a deal will get done? And will there be football in 2011?
I think there will be football in 2011, but I don't know that it will be a full season. I go back and forth on this, and it just depends on who you talk to on what particular day. I was talking to one guy today who told me he believes there won't be any teams in 2011, and he's been around this for a while. I've talked to other people that believe that the folks involved are too smart to kill the booster lanes to go over there, and that they will get this thing down at the 11th hour. So, to be frank with you, none of us know, and we can sit here and give you our opinion, but again, it's one of those situations where, that there's still so much ground to cover that to say we know definitively one way or the other, we can't. And if we say we do, we're lying to you. Because the fact is, things could change positively or negatively in a day. Gene Upshaw and Paul Tagliabue just get together at the 11th hour, go into a room by themselves, hammer it out. Can Roger Goodell and DeMaurice Smith do that? I don't know. They don't have that type of relationship yet. They're both in their collective bargaining, or they're both participating in the first collective bargaining agreement negotiation. So, there are a lot of factors here that are just unknown at this point.
Yeah, I think the fans, from a fan's perspective, we all hope that it definitely gets done, and the owners and the players and everybody gets together. And like you said, the goose that lays the golden egg. You don't want to be the one responsible for ruining a good thing, and I think it's a good thing for everybody right now.
Absolutely.
Let's talk specifically about certain teams in the league right now. Let's start with the San Diego Chargers. Obviously, there's some key players that are not on the field right now for whatever reason. They're not signed. There's some contract negotiations or lack thereof maybe with Vincent Jackson and their left tackle McNeil. What are your thoughts on both players, and do you think that Jackson and McNeil will be with the Chargers sooner rather than later?
No, I think it'll be later rather than sooner. I'm one of those people, I hear talk about the players being greedy and this, that, and the other. Well, I fall on the other side. I see two guys who played out their rookie contracts. Marcus McNeil's contract was 4 years. Vincent Jackson's contract was 5 years. Marcus McNeil, left tackle, went to the Pro Bowl each of his first 2 seasons. We know what a Pro Bowl left tackle is worth. And yet not once during those 4 years did he come in and say, I'm going to hold out if I don't get more money. He honored his contract. And so now he wants to be paid commensurate with what the top left tackles make. I can't blame him for being upset. now, the 600,000, that the team was reduced to 2, which it didn't have to do, but it did. So I understand where he's coming from. Vincent Jackson, he had a 5-year deal. We know how short these careers can be in the NFL. So 5 years under a rookie salary, and you're now at a Pro Bowl level, you want to be paid. So I understand his position now. He's had some issues with DUIs. He's had 2. You can't run away from that. So, for people to say that the Chargers are right to give him a long term, I'll say, look, if you want him here, you want him long term, write into a contract provision to protect you if he has another DUI or he's suspended, and get, money rebates if that happens, or put his money into guaranteed and his salary each year, make him earn it, So I think, will he accept that? I have no idea, but you don't know unless you talk to him and you negotiate. And the team is taking a position that is not going to talk or negotiate with him.
So ultimately, how do you see it playing out? I mean, like we had talked about before, I had spoken with Roman Oben, who played out there in San Diego. He's familiar with the left tackle position out there. His sense is that Marcus McNeil is the more important piece in that puzzle, and if either one of those two gets a deal, it'll be McNeil first, as there's plenty of guys to get the ball to and plenty of weapons offensively, for San Diego. So he sees McNeil being the guy that's going to get the deal done first. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Yeah, I do. I think that the left tackle position for them is more of a priority. Marcus is a guy they want to try and lock up long term. I think they're going to wait to see if Dombrowski holds up at left tackle. They're very thin there. If he goes down, then it gets very interesting. They're going to have 2 choices. They can either try and sign Marcus, or they're going to have to go out and make a trade to bring someone in. So at this point, that's kind of where it is. I think they're taking more of a wait and see.
Yeah, I agree. And it does seem like San Diego is very, very patient. I mean, they are not in a hurry to do anything, it appears. So I think it's going to be a battle of attrition, so to speak. See who bites first.
Well, I think that the ball is to me in the Chargers' court. They are the ones who have taken the position that they're not going to discuss or negotiate until they're ready, to come and negotiate, because the players are not going to come in for 600,000. And really, it's less than that when you start considering the games that they've missed, and the fact that they're going to have to miss 3 because they've been put on the roster extensively once they do sign with the team. So, I think the Chargers are going to have to change their position, and if they don't, and I think there's the potential that these guys won't play this year.
Yeah, well, and like we had discussed, the AFC West is not the toughest division in football, so they may feel that they can get into the playoffs without them. The question becomes is how deep into the playoffs are you going to be able to get going against maybe a Jets or a Ravens defense and not having your best, blindside cover or left tackle there to protect Phillip Rivers. So it'll be interesting, I think, as the season wears on, if that ownership is ready to make a deal.
Yeah, it will be. And unfortunately, it's too bad for the Chargers fans, but you have to wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jim, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Before I let you go, can I get a Super Bowl prediction? I know it's early. I know a lot of things can happen. Guys can get injured. The whole complexity can change. But who do you like early going to the Super Bowl this year?
My prediction was the Packers over the Jets.
Packers over the Jets. It sounds like a good prediction. Packers look pretty good this year. I have to agree. They're a complete team offensively and defensively. And the Jets, I may disagree with you on that one, but you never know what can happen.
No, and neither do I. And that's why it's funny to me when people get upset about it. It's just a prediction.
Well, we value your opinion, and we thank you so very much for coming by and chatting with us today. We appreciate your phone call, and we wish you the best of luck, and we'll be checking you out on SportsIllustrated.com and reading all your stories and all the good work that you do. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
My pleasure. I appreciate it.
I'm Steve O'Reilly, and that's Jim Trotter, and this is SkinnyPost.com giving you the skinny 24/7.